I grew up in a small town in Bhopal. While I was growing up, like most of us, the dream was to get into IIT, to join a Fortune 500 company, earn big, be a technologist, like most of us. But there's an incident that happened, and that changed my perception towards a lot of things. While I was at college, I had a friend of mine who committed suicide. And I saw her. I experienced her. She would stay just 2 rooms beside my room, and a person you would have dinner with, or somebody who would sit on the next table. And she was not there the next day. And for what? Just because her grades were not good? That got me intrigued into the subject. I wanted to understand, could I have done something differently to save her? Was something that we were doing was wrong? Many times while preparing for IIT, while at the college, during the placements, having a failed relationship, I have myself felt a lot of pressure. But then I thought maybe it's just me. Then I started talking to a lot of my friends to understand if they have ever experienced the pressure. And to my surprise, almost 85% of the people said that they have felt the pressure, but they were not able to talk about their problems to anyone. Then I thought maybe, it's just my friends, you're friends with similar kind of people. Then I started doing a lot of research. I spoke to around thousands of people. That was my sample set. And I tried to understand, have they ever experienced something like this? And around 75% of the people said yes, they have experienced the pressure themselves, but they were not able to talk about it to anyone because they fear that people might judge them, people might call them mentally ill. Then I started doing so that then I personally don't come from the field of psychology. I didn't even know at that time what is a psychologist, what do counselors do. I did know that there was something called counseling cell in my college, and there was just nobody visiting there, and it's a shoo-shoo subject. So that was my understanding. That's it. Then I started visiting a lot of counselors, psychologists. I visited around hundreds of them. Right? Anybody I could catch hold of in Bangalore, in Guwahati, in Delhi, in Bhopal, and I wanted to understand what do they do and why are people not approaching them. And I did have my Eureka moments. I'll share that with you in some time. Out of all the research that I did, and I did it for quite some time given that I was not from the field, so for me to get a sense that I was on the right path, I had to talk to a lot of people, I had to understand the subject better. And there were 3 things that came up. Right? The aspirations of the people in New India are rising. There are a lot of expectations, there are a lot of aspirations, right? Everybody wants to have a company by the age of 30. Everybody wants to own a house by the age of 25, right? We all look at our friends' Facebook feed and we are like, oh, they are holidaying in Hawaii, I want to be there. They have such a perfect life, I don't, right? Which leads to a lot of rise in stress levels. Secondly, initially, we had a lot of social support, natural support system that was there. We all had our grandmothers, grandfathers, those cool aunts, cool uncles we could go and talk to. But that natural support system that was there earlier is just not there anymore. We all live on our own, manage things on our own, live away from our family. Right? Thirdly, culturally, the stigma part in our society is so high that people are not able to talk about their problems. It's like if I go out and somebody knows I'm going to a counselor, it's like there's something wrong with me. Right? It's like it's a sign of weakness if we are seeking support. Also, it's like, if you're going out, there will be 1,000 people asking you 1,000 questions. And how do I answer them? Right? So with that, I started doing a lot of research again. And the statistics says that 1 out of every 4 Indian is going through some sort of mental unrest. That's a lot of people. And guys, how many of you here have faced some sort of family pressure or know somebody who's faced a family pressure? or a bad relationship breakup, or maybe the placement pressure, will I make it to a good job or not? Here you go. Or will I be able to present my work to other people or not? I know stuff, but will I be able to present it? Do I have that much confidence? We have all gone through something like this, isn't it? But we are not able to talk about it, right? And we started out with that. I'm very obsessed about solving this problem. I know that the field that we have chosen or have taken to be in, it's not something that people will come to me. It's something that we have to reach out to people, right? And there's only one way that I could reach out to so many people. It cannot be by having a center somewhere, because then my reach is very limited. So we decided, given that our forte was technology, can I mix technology and mental wellness, and can something be done around it? Today we are more connected than ever before, but we are connected to like and upvote. We are really not connected to share and support each other. We wanted that to happen. With this belief, we started YourDOST. YourDOST is an online emotional wellness platform. I think we started out, it was 3 or 4 of us who started, with a crazy idea, with not coming from the field. We started out because we had the passion. We have experienced it ourselves. We have seen all people around us going through it. All the statistics support it, but there wasn't much happening in that direction. So we thought we could use our forte of technology and mix it with mental wellness, and they try to solve this problem. Right? We started out in December of 2014, and today we are around 150 people. What started as two counselors is now a team of 120 experts or more. We have helped out around 80,000 people over a year's time. We do around 600 conversations on a daily basis. And there are people talking to us about all sorts of things. Like there's somebody going through an immense parental pressure, or there are somebody who wants to build a confident self, somebody who wants to build a healthier relationship. There are some of the examples that I would like to give you. So there is somebody who is at 3 in the night, who is homosexual, very scared about talking about his identity to anybody else, really going through a tough phase because he's not able to speak it out, right? And it's affecting his work, his other friends circle, everything. Because he can't talk about this to his parents, he can't talk about it to his family, friends, teachers, or any other person. And this person comes here. Given that it's anonymous, he feels very secure coming here. He speaks to the experts. These experts are counselors, psychologists, career coaches, life coaches, people from various backgrounds who have that compassion to help others. And he feels so wonderful after that, after a few sessions, that he goes and opens up about his personality to everybody else. And is like, I can do everything that I want to do. It's not an illness, right? And that's the power of sharing and supporting is what we are seeing. There was somebody, I'm sure a lot of people can relate here, somebody who's trying for an IAS exam for 5 years, right, and not able to make it. Think of it, they think that life is nothing, there's no career for them because they have spent their 5 years doing this. When they come and they speak to a career coach and they see a path out, it's not like somebody can give you your solution, but somebody can help you pass through that journey or go through that phase of your life, be that support that is there, and that does wonders. There's a youngster going through a lot of relationship issue, right? So he wanted to do this, you're 19, 20, and you're going through that relationship issue thinking that nothing can happen in the world because my relationship didn't work out, right? And you feel that the world is collapsing here, you cannot have a career, you cannot have anything because that boy or a girl left you. And at that time, when there is somebody to support you at that journey, it can do wonders. We might not have those cool aunts or cool uncles anymore with us, but we could still have that expert friend who will be available for us 24/7. The biggest conflict for me when we were starting YourDOST was traditionally all these things have been an NGO. People would call it an initiative. People would call it like it's a good thing you're doing for the society, but that's it. It is not a business, it's not sustainable. But I think it was a very conscious decision we took. We were like, see, we are helping out so many people. We could reach out potentially to so many people. It could definitely be a sustainable business. Why it has to be only an NGO and limited to few people? Why can't we scale? Why can't we reach out to the whole world? Yeah? Why can't we hire the best of the engineers and best of the security people? And why can't we have like the best of the technologies in the world? And with that, we took a conscious decision of making it as a sustainable business. And it did work out with us. I mean, apart from whatever the norm says us, we were able to attract some of the best investors out there in the country. And that's how the journey started, of expanding it, reaching out to the more people. We realize we are the custodians of some of the deepest feelings of people. Like how for bank security is very important, so as for us. Imagine, we know so much about somebody, one of the deepest things that you wouldn't be even comfortable sharing it with your loved ones. That is the kind of information we have. So we really have to work with the top class engineers to make that the security is enabled, the encryption is enabled. We are protecting our own counselors against any sort of abuse and so on. Right? I think our vision is to bring mental health at the forefront of physical health. There are a lot of research that says, especially in Canada, there hasn't been done in India yet, which says 20 billion is wasted every year because people are not productive, because they are not mentally well. Right? If our focus, we try to understand that mental well-being is as important as physical well-being. If we are able to increase awareness, if we are able to reach out to the people and tell them it's okay to be human, it's okay to be vulnerable. You need not have that life which your friends show on Facebook. It's okay to live, everybody has ups and downs. And it's not only for people who are abnormal. Right? It's for regular people like you and me who might have their phases. It might be like a phase of when you're feeling low, you might want to improve yourself, might want to have like a better confident self or have your daily dose of motivation. Right? Today, when I look back and I think of my friend who committed suicide, I feel if she had something like this, if she had something where, she would have found out that what she was going through was very normal. All of us go through that phase. And if somebody would have told us that, maybe she wouldn't have taken that step. Sometimes the most dreadful experiences of our life are the most impactful experiences. There are few things that I would want to stress here, given that that's my biggest learning. One, it's never fear to embrace your own experiences. Be open to that. We all have that voice inside. Let that voice be your own voice. Give yourself permission to use that voice. It's okay, we say that this particular sector is this way, this particular sector is more booming, I should go into that sector. But fine, what are you passionate about? What is that you care about more? And anything that you do, if that adds value, if it is creating value for anybody, it will do well. It will do very well. I could have been doing anything with my education at IIT, being a technologist or being anything in the design. But I chose this because I feel that experience made me do something which is more impactful and more meaningful. Thank you.